All right, a week from tonight, we do number 37. We are so thrilled and pleased to have Anthrax in town for the birthday bash. And look who's on the horn. It's Scott Ian. What's up, buddy?
Hey man, how are you?
I'm doing just fine, man. How you doing today?
Good. I'm good.
Y'all are in, what, cold Wisconsin today?
Yeah, Milwaukee, and yeah, it's freezing.
Well, dude, you're just blowing and going. Last night, I have to tell you, man, for some reason, I was tooling around Netflix and I run into this documentary on Michael Alago. And they're talking
All
about,
right.
yeah, they're talking about the Roseland Ballroom in '84 and, that one night in August with you and Metallica and Raven. And I just thought, man, how cool is that I'm watching this? I'll talk to you today and just kind of get your thoughts on how that night kind of launched everything.
Yeah, it did. It was really, for us, we had been out on tour that summer, opening for Raven. I guess you could say in support of our first album, Fistful of Metal, because that had come out in January of '84, and then we went out with Raven that summer, and then at some point, they decided leading up to that tour that there was going to be this final show of the tour. The New York City play was going to be with Metallica added on, so it was actually Anthrax, Metallica, Raven that night at the Roseland Ballroom, and there had never been a show in New York City like that big for bands of our ilk, like really just underground bands essentially. And they put it at Roseland, and it sold out pretty much immediately. 3,500, 4,000 tickets, and I guess that just really caught the ears of the major labels because it was kind of unheard of at the time. And so it was on the back of that show that Raven signed to Atlantic, Metallica signed to Elektra, and we signed to Island. And, everybody was off and running.
Let me ask you this, man. When you go on tour, you've got 30 plus years to put into a set list. When y'all huddle up, what's your mind thoughts of what you're going to play, what you're going to do? Does it change night to night?
It doesn't really change night to night. Sometimes it'll change throughout a tour, not drastically for us. We're kind of like the type of band that we like to figure out what we're going to do on a run, which usually takes place in, let's say, the first 6 or 7 shows. Kind of like what's even happened on this run. We started out with a set list. It changed a little bit the first 3 shows, one song in, one song out. Oh, maybe change something else. But then once we have something locked in that we feel really great about, we're the type of band that for me, I like to do that every night. And because then I know it's only getting better is the way I look at it. And as the tour goes on, it gets better and better because we really get locked into something. And it doesn't get old to me because it's a different crowd every night and every show is different.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like I said, 2 weeks into a tour, I feel like I'm playing better than I was at the start of a tour because I've got 2 weeks under my belt and I'm in tour shape and I'm really in that frame of mind. I'm just, buried in it, so to speak. So, we don't change it up too much once we get going. Sometimes on tours where, let's say we're out opening for somebody, but we're doing headline shows on nights off, that's kind of a best of both worlds scenario because, we're doing maybe a shorter, tighter, compact set as an opening band, like playing 50 minutes or an hour, but then we get to go headline and do 90 minutes or an hour 45 or 2 hours, whatever it may be, and obviously get to expand. And then those headline sets will generally kind of change from show to show just because it's not like we're doing that every night. So it just kind of depends what tour we're on.
And what's the set? 90 minutes?
Right now, this tour it's a co-headline with Killswitch, so both bands are doing 75.
All right, cool. So you've got to really compact a lot. You've got to compact 30 years into, 70 minutes or so, right?
Well, no matter what you do,
Yeah.
even if we were playing 3 hours.
Yeah, you still couldn't get to everything, right?
Yeah, it's still not.
Someone's going to go, hey, man. Yeah.
You're never going to please everybody.
Sure,
That's the bottom line. And, you just got to put a set together and put a show together that that flows right, and feels good, and has dynamics, and and that we're going to be excited to play every night. That's the main thing. I can't go on stage doing something that I don't want to do, or I'm bored with, or it just doesn't feel right to me. Because if it's not feeling right to me, and when I say me, I'm speaking about the band.
Sure.
If something doesn't feel right to us, then that's going to translate to the crowd. If we're not having fun, then nobody's going to have fun. So
it's kind of the
really
the whole purpose of it, right?
Yeah, it's really got to start there. But generally in a 2-hour set, like on a real headline show, in a 2-hour set, I think we're pretty capable of kind of spanning the catalog and really kind of figuring out what works the best.
Well, you're going to do this run and then the big first leg of the Slayer final North American tour, which wraps up Austin, Texas, which will be a big night on June 20th. What's it mean for you to be on this bill?
Well, we found out just like everybody else when we got offered this Slayer tour. The offer came in a few months ago,
mm-hmm.
and when we got that offer, there was nobody said anything about this was whatever they're calling the end is near, or
right.
We were just like, yeah, wow, this. Our agent sent an email saying, hey, Slayer wants you guys out on this big package, and we were like, wow, that's exciting because it just, it looked really exciting. Wow, this is going to be a big summer metal tour. How much more fun could we possibly have? And we toured so much with Slayer over the years, and we're friends. So the fact that they were putting together this big metal package for the summer, that's all we needed. And and then of course that announcement comes in. I was as surprised as anyone else. At the same time, it's like, oh well, okay. I mean, I'm friends with the guys, so I know there's been talk in that camp over the last few years about at some point saying, all right, maybe we need to put an exclamation point at the end of this sentence. And, so I was surprised and I wasn't surprised. I know that sounds weird. But, I still think it's too early to really, I don't really have any thoughts about it yet because, it takes a little bit of time to tour the world. And hopefully we'll be on more than one leg of this tour as they travel around the planet doing this. And, I'll have a long time to kind of digest it and see how I really feel about it. Right now, I'm just super excited to get out there on, I think, what's going to be the tour of the year here in America and play these shows. They're going to be amazing.
Oh, that bill is like, when that came out, I was like, holy moly, this is intense.
Yeah, it's already, shows are already selling out. I think 8 or 10 of these shows are already sold out, and some of them, I heard some of the shows are sold out and they got moved to bigger venues. So, certainly the excitement has crossed over to outside of the bands who are super excited about playing this tour. Obviously, the excitement has crossed over to the fans because, people are running out there and getting tickets, and I would tell people to not sleep on this, thinking that, I'll just get tickets. There won't be tickets day of show.
You better do it now, right?
You should go out and get these tickets.
What's funny though, man, it starts this May. It might end up going through next May. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, look, these days it takes at least a year, if not longer, to properly tour the world.
Mm-hmm.
So. I would think they will blow this up as big as they can because why not? If it's really going to be the last one, then you got to go out big, and I would expect nothing less from those guys. And look, the best way to go out is when you're on top. Whether it's all the best movies or TV shows or books, you got to stick the ending. If you don't stick the ending, well, it kind of blows it. And Slayer's going to stick the ending. Just look how they're announcing this with, the biggest tour of the year. So
mm-hmm.
I have the feeling they're going to do it right.
Well, hopefully I'll see you this next. Well, I will see you this next Friday, but I want to be down in Austin on the 20th of June to see that. That'll be some history in the making right there, man.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have to tell you, Scott. Every time I eat bologna, I think about you and bologna in hand, man. I swear to God, I think about you every time. And, you know, we call it hillbilly steak around here. And
Right.
I just wonder, do you ever eat bologna anymore? It's been a while.
No. I
No.
mean, I think even at that time when that was Metallica's Bologna, actually,
Yeah, oh, was it? Okay.
we just gave them the refrigerator to keep it refrigerated in, so
Oh,
they weren't eating rotten bologna.
Oh, the good old days, right, man? Oh, that's great, bro. All right, brother. We can't wait to see you a week from tonight. The new DVD comes out on the 27th of April. Y'all going to get here and blow it up. Kill Switch, Anthrax, number 37. I have to ask you, who do you like on Sunday, Patriots or the Eagles?
It's you know, I don't have a horse in the race, so and I have a pretty big dislike for both teams.
What are you, a Giants fan or a Jets fan?
Yeah, I'm a Giants fan, so obviously, naturally, the Eagles are not my favorite.
That's the enemy, man.
And the Patriots, you know, and it's funny because at least I'll always have, no matter whatever happens the rest of my life as a football fan, the Giants will always have two Super Bowl victories over the Patriots.
Man. They'll have the catch, right?
Yeah, I'll always have that.
Yeah.
So, that being said, I'm not rooting for the Patriots by any means. So it's kind of a tough one. You know, I don't know. I don't know which team I dislike more.
Well, just as long as it's a good game. When you said that, it's kind of like me and the Astros. They finally won the World Series. I don't care if they win another pennant, another anything. If they go, you know, 162 and 100, they won the World Series, man, and that's all that matters to me.
I mean, I'll have to say, I guess if anything, of course, I'd like to see a good game, and I guess if I had to pick, I would have to go with Philadelphia. I guess just because, you know, look, New England's got a handful of them already, and so why not? Let's see it go somewhere else. It would be great for that city.
Yeah, then you'd have to listen to those Philly fans for a year, though, man. You know.
Oh, I don't have to listen to anything. You know, I don't believe me. I don't
yeah,
care.
Tune it out. I hear you, brother.
I don't care. It'll just be good for that city. You know,
it'd be great for that
city.
City.
Love playing
man.
Philadelphia, so
yeah.
You know, let's let them have one.
There you go.
And you know, and I hate New England, so whatever.
I love it, brother. Well, man, I appreciate you taking time and phoning in today. We are so excited to have you guys here for our 37th birthday bash next Friday night. It's going to rock.
Awesome.
Weather looks good. Couldn't be more excited to have you here in town. It's been a while, man. Been a long time since you guys have been in this neck of the woods. So
it has been. I know
it's been a very long time. So hey, listen, man, I appreciate it. Have a great day and be safe on the way down. All right, bro.
All right.
Okay.
Cheers.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye.